Hello, hello. We are live. How's everyone doing? Um, Thank you so much for joining us today. Uh, Today's webinar we're doing is 5 tactical tips to use automation to give more personal customer support. We're just going to wait a minute or two for people to get in. Looks like we already have quite a few people here already, but we'll just give it another minute for people to log on. But while we are waiting, let us know. Feel free to chat. Let us know if you have any issues of hearing us or seeing us. And also, curious to know where where everyone is watching us here from. Hey, Emily. Good to see some people in the chat. Yeah, feel free to let us know where you're all, coming from. Great, a bunch of responses coming out already. While we're getting those responses coming in, Igor, Jason, where are you, each of you today?
I'm in Slovakia as Monica. I just see her in chat. In
Yeah, we have
Europe.
a few people from Slovakia. Nice.
Yeah, I recently moved to Sacramento, California.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that, Jason. That's super cool. I'm temporarily living in Maui, Hawaii right now, so we're all in different time zones. Igor, what time is it over there? I was just
7
curious.
p.m.
7 p.m. It's 8 a.m. for me. It's 10 for Jason, I think.
Yeah.
So this is great. We have people from literally all over the world. Super exciting. And I think we could start getting started. There we go. Just going through this chat. It's really great to see everyone in there. So to start off, I'm Vishal Vivakar. I work at Front. I am on the marketing team. I'm just going to be the host today, so I'll take a back seat in a second and let the experts that we have today, Igor and Jason from Nicereply and Front, provide their tactical tips for customer support. So to get started, Igor, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and about Nicereply?
Of course. So first of all, thank you, Front, you guys for having me. My pleasure to be on this webinar. My name is Igor Minarik. I'm responsible for sales and customer success at Nicereply. For those who don't know, Nicereply is a customer feedback app, which you can use to measure CSAT, CS, and NPS. We are able to integrate with almost any help desk tool, including Front, and we've been partners with Front for some time. So the partnership works great.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm Jason Dugdale. I'm a tooling and support engineer here at Front. Yeah, Front is, for those of you who don't know, like a collaborative communication app for your team, so you can manage your emails, support tickets, Twitter replies, WhatsApp messages, all sorts right from Front. And like Igor said, we integrate with a ton of apps like Nicereply and all sorts of other things to kind of put all of your data into one place. Yeah, with my role as a tooling and support engineer, I kind of split my time between technical customer support and developing internal tools to help our team provide better support for our customers. So whether that's exposing more data to our team or like fixing bugs, building dashboards, that sort of thing, it's all kind of covered by my role.
Cool. Thanks, both Igor and Jason. I think one thing Jason didn't mention is on the side, he also is an investor at GameStop and AMC Theaters. So he doubles as a Front employee
Good for you.
and an investor. Look, the chat's liking that. So here's the quick agenda of what we're going to cover today. To start off, we're going to just really talk about how automation can make you more personal. And I think one key theme that you'll notice us discussing is, I think there's this like assumption that automation, can turn people into robots. But really, we want to talk about how it can enable you to create more personalized experiences with your customers. we'll then demystify automation and AI, and then go into the 5 tactical tips that Igor and Jason will discuss that they're using in their day-to-day. And then at the end, we're going to have a Q&A. So you'll see a chat tab, and you'll also see a questions tab. So feel free to use the questions tab to ask your questions. We'll try to go through them. We'll try to save them for the very end, but if they come up and they're timely to what we're talking about, we'll try to do our best to answer them in the moment as well. So to kick things off, we have a poll that we wanted to go ahead and ask, and it's basically, what's your top support goal as we kick off 2021? So you should see this coming in right here, and as we're getting these answers coming in, Igor and Jason, why don't you give us your answer to this question?
Sure. So for us as a company, definitely we want to increase CSAT or customer satisfaction. That's, I would say, goal for every year. Besides that, we also want to be closer to the customer, be more helpful, mainly during those like trial period. With Nicereply, you can create a trial, and then you basically get the app for 2 weeks for free. And during that time, we want to be closer to the customer, to be more helpful, and so it's easy for them to set up and keep moving.
Yeah,
Nice.
for us, we definitely want to maintain that high CSAT rating that we have, and yeah, one of our key goals is reducing response times, particularly for our more strategic customers. We'd love to be able to get responses out within like 20-30 minutes for those top tier customers.
Yeah, it looks like coming in from the poll, majority of people are saying cutting down response time, followed by increased CSAT as a close second, and then increased NPS, falling third. So super interesting, and also aligning with what Igor and Jason have as their goals as well. So going into how automation can make it more personal, I'll let Jason take it from here.
There we go. Yeah, so yeah, today we're talking about how automation can make you more personal. Why? Because you're freeing up more time to talk to people personally, or at least that's definitely a goal that you can work towards. We're going to kind of explore like how automation can make you more human by allowing you to automate tasks like asking repetitive questions like, could you provide the URL of the page that you're having a problem with, or assigning or notifying your teammates about certain types of messages, moving things to the right queues or inboxes so the right people can deal with them quickly. And like other things like creating alerts for messages that are going to run over your SLA agreements.
Great, thanks, Jason. I wanted to move on to demystifying automation. So Igor, can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Of course. So there's a lot of things already said regarding AI and how automation can help you, and whether it's good or bad, whether it's we get rid of human agents if we don't need them anymore. So I'll cover some advantages and disadvantages of AI. So in general, AI for us as a company, and we think it's great help. It has great potential in helping support teams become more efficient. So agents are not replying to the same tickets every day. Basically, those frequently asked questions every day. They are able to solve complex issues. So that's definitely big advantages. And for us as a company, we see that AI can be available, or chatbots, for example, can be available 24/7. For us as a company operating and based from Europe, sometimes it's tricky to serve and support customers from Australia or customers from US. So AI can definitely help us with that, to be basically present all the time, and also cut down response time with those like frequently asked questions. And on the other hand, there are some pitfalls in AI. We think that it should not be considered as like silver bullet, which will basically solve everything and you can get rid of human agents. But we think it as it's like additional layer to the support service strategy. So you can add it. You can go step by step. Even big companies go step by step. You should not go like straight away huge, since it's like great investment and it takes too much time. So you should go step by step. You should, for example, start with chatbot or like simple AI solution, and then build it from there. And also you need to maintain it. It needs to have like hands-on approach, where we see there are companies who basically just set it up, leave it like they set it up, and they don't maintain it. They don't look at the data. So yeah, you need to look at it, you need to analyze, and you need to basically teach it to become smarter and smarter every day. So that's my point in terms of pros and cons regarding AI.
Got it. Yeah, that's also, I just feel like something that's going to continue to come up. Obviously, I know Igor and Jason, you've probably seen more and more talk about it in your roles. So I'm curious to see how things change in the next few years when it comes to AI and customer support. And that brings us into this next question, which maybe AI can have some sort of influence, and it's, what's the one thing you wish you could automate but you haven't found a good solution for? So I'm gonna throw this into the polls, and we'll wait for your answers. And while we're waiting, Jason, let's start with you. What's one thing that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, so one thing that I've tried in the past with kind of mixed success is around kind of detecting what a customer is asking. Particularly with email messages, and being able to send a really helpful auto response or route it to the right place. Like, if they match like two keywords in an email, like if you have a bunch of different rules, like maybe you'll send the wrong auto response, or that kind of like smarter, like context-based AI is something that I would really love to see, to be able to, not necessarily like completely answer anyone's questions, but being able to provide a helpful resource that says something like, hey, this is an automated message. We see that you might be reporting an issue with rules that you're building. Here are some great resources that you can get started with, and someone will get back to you shortly. Those sorts of things, just to kind of provide a customer with some prompts and some resources to get started on their own journey to fixing this issue.
Yeah, I don't know if you just saw that in the chat from Brandon, but he's saying that I find autoresponders aren't where they need to be effective. And interestingly, in the poll question, auto replies are number one. And so it's definitely a hot topic. Igor, do you have any thoughts on this?
We try to, or I wish we could automate onboarding. We focus on that at the moment. So basically know when customers stuck, when customers don't know how to set up the app. And at that point, we would like to trigger a message or pop up or trigger chatbot that we see that customer stuck, and we want to help at the right time, because we see that customer want to like log into the app and then set it up at once. They don't like to come back again for a couple of days. So that's what we focus on. We would like to automate onboarding as much as possible.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you find any current solutions that are helping you with automating onboarding, Igor?
Yes, but they're different things we already do. It's not just like one thing we do. We don't have just like chatbot and that's it. We basically try different tools, different apps, and based on the activity, we trigger some messages to customers. Sometimes if customer is stuck, we are able to pop up some message directly in the app. So we try different tactics, and that's our focus for 2021. Try different tactics and basically increase setup rate, so more and more customers will be able to set up the app as soon as possible.
Yeah, detecting where people get stuck there, that's really key. You know, being able to like put the right message in front of the customer at the right time, just to say like, hey, it seems like you might be struggling with, you know, taking this action. Like, here are some helpful guides for you, or, you know, a pointer to maybe this is the button you need to click.
Got it. We have another message. I agree with Brandon. It'd be so beneficial to have a chat bot or automated response to customers who reach out via live chat. At least a greeting or asking how we can assist you today. I think that's a perfect segue into our next slide. Jason, you want to take?
Yeah, so yeah, like live chat, or, you know, whether it's on your website or in-app, it's a super helpful tool for providing fast support for customers. I definitely see and have experienced struggles with managing live chat. You know, a customer, they chat in and they typically expect a response pretty quickly. So there's definitely that that requirement to staff your team to the point where you can respond to messages within a couple of minutes. Like, if someone's waiting 45 minutes for a first response, you know, they kind of walk away just asking like, wait, what is this? This isn't live chat. But when done right, it can be super helpful, and particularly when you integrate like various chatbot solutions into a live chat experience, it can be super powerful. Like this slide says, things like answers to frequently asked questions, or you know, routing methods that sort of say like, hey, are you looking to speak to sales support? Are you an existing customer? Are you a new customer? And just trying to, you know, route the customer to the right people they need to speak to, rather than throwing everything into one inbox, is really powerful. I know there are great solutions with things like Drift, Intercom, Flow AI. They're a partner of Front, and they allow you to build you know, automated chatbot workflows that kind of integrate with you know, Front Chat, or I believe all sorts of other chat solutions, which is it's a really cool experience.
Yeah, on the marketing side, I use Drift for our chat bots too. So you know, we have, I'm sure a lot of companies have this, where you have kind of a tree of like, do you have a support question? Are you a customer? Are you, you know, somebody new to the product? And regardless of whether it's pre-sales or post-sales, the chatbot is very powerful. You have to spend time to make sure that you're building it in the right way, so that it works for you. Because if you don't have the right structure or the right branches, you know, you're just then gonna have to insert yourself, or a human's gonna have to get in there and respond. So I think there's so much you can do, and then there's so many tools coming out to, you know, be able to surface quick answers to those questions. So I think the one exciting thing about this area is I feel like the innovation is increasing at a pretty rapid pace. Like every couple of months, you know, there's a new feature, there's something new. So it'll be exciting to see where we are in, for example, 1 year from now. Cool. Igor, you want to take this one?
Of course. So yeah, tactic 2 or tip number 2 is to save message templates for common questions. I think many of us already do it. So there are, I would say it's one of the simplest method you can use and you can start with. You can set up email templates. You can set up canned responses. You can set up like predefined replies. So many of us get like frequently asked questions where those email templates or canned responses could be used. It saves a lot of time that you have some prepared templates with some links, articles, help desk links where you can find answers. So that definitely can save a lot of time, and also that agents then can focus on more complex issues there are. And also on the other hand, there are definitely better quality replies when there is already like email template prepared with some links and articles, so it's full of content. And then I think it's better to send predefined email template to the customer rather than every day create basically the same answer to customers. So you save time with predefined replies or canned responses. You save time, and I believe you have better quality replies to those customers. We as a company have been using email templates or canned responses for some time. We use it for the support, so just the standard. We get frequently asked questions, and to those we either send it automatically. So for example, if there is a question regarding the payment or the payment was not proceed or something like that, we are able to, based on the ticket type and based on the subject, we are able to send predefined email to the customer, or manually you open the ticket and you see that it's regarding some I don't know, support issue, and based on that you are able to quickly in a couple of seconds forward the email template already created before. And also we use it during the onboarding, so during the trial period. We look at the activity of our users in the app, what tool they use, what integration they're interested in, what type of, I don't know, metric they want to use. And based on those information, we are able then to send the same way, either automatically based on the integration. For example, they use automatically send them, I don't know, some article how to set it up or some video how to set it up. And then if we don't get that many information, we still have predefined emails we send with, for example, I don't know, help desk articles, and also a link where they can book a call, and then we can hop on a call anytime. So we find it very useful.
Yeah, we find it's super helpful to with these sort of message templates, like being able to provide customers with links to resources on the help center. Being able to like having those resources like publicly available already, that definitely helps with deflection. And also, like when you share these kinds of resources, like saying like, hey, maybe this will answer your question. Also, like sometimes like helps guide customers towards your help center, and like maybe even like further deflects the types of conversations that people raise.
I think it's a really great question here about tracking from Brandon, and Liv also wants to know, would either of you want to answer this? Like, how do you track this?
So we definitely track frequently asked questions. If there is the same question repeating again, we talk with our colleagues which are responsible for help desk article. So we do that, and then for the onboarding, we basically track, or our goal is to increase setup rate. So we look at that number, and also look directly in the app whether the client has set up the account. If not, we try to modify email templates, provide them with more resources, more links, and things like that.
Yeah, speaking for Front, right now we don't really track which message templates we send out. We do have good metrics on our help center to show which pages are viewed most frequently, and we have a dedicated like help center manager who maintains like a lot of our resources, and also the whole support team contributes to keeping those articles up to date. So we pay particular attention to those with the heaviest traffic, and make sure everything is kind of kept up to date. And yeah.
Jason, is there a specific tracking stat that you're using in front for this? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, right now, no. I guess speaking specifically from front, something that might be possible is configuring a rule that says, on outbound message, when the message body is, matches your message template, then tag it with something specific, like message template 1 or something. And then you can kind of track analytics based on that.
Got it. Cool. So I think we'll move to the next slide. And another poll we have, I'm going to just shoot this right in here, is what support tool are you using right now to manage requests? Igor, Jason, Igor, why don't you start off?
Of course. So we as a company, since we deal with those or help desk tools like front and desk, helps fresh desk are our main partners. We have tried many help desk tools, so we also understand it and know how it works from customer perspective. But at the moment, we as a company for tickets and for chat use Help Scout. We also use Zendesk before and front, so we move from time to different tool.
You just use all the tools.
Yeah. But at the moment, we use Help Scout for some time.
Yeah, believe it or not, with front, we provide support using front.
Nice, big shock there, Jason. It looks like we have a lot of customers here, so that's really awesome, or even some of our trial users. So great to hear that. Cool, let's move on to the next slide. Connect customer data with your support tool. Super important topic here.
Yeah, so this is definitely something I spend a lot of my time thinking about. With speaking specifically with front, we offer a plugin sidebar, so you can load pre-built apps like Salesforce, Clearbit, Full Contact, or you can build your own apps to fetch data from whatever platform you like and expose it based on the context of the conversation you're viewing. So we have an internal tool that exposes various pieces of customer data, like what kind of plan they're on, how many inboxes they have, all sorts of things. And it's just right there with helpful links to our admin tools. It definitely really helps our helps our team support our customers faster. And it has great side effects like being able to, if someone writes in asking about an upgrade, maybe we'll kind of push them over to their account manager, and that information is right there, it's present. It just allows us to really quickly get conversations to the right place and get a lot of context about why a customer might be experiencing something. Like if they, they're saying like, I'm having trouble adding a new inbox. We can look at this panel immediately and we see, oh, they're at their inbox limit. Maybe that's the reason. Like maybe we should suggest an upgrade, that sort of thing. Yeah, and like with tools like Front and a lot of other help desk tools, you can often use their APIs to import custom metadata about contacts. So you can build rules in those platforms to trigger on external data, like if the Stripe plan on this customer is pro, then maybe we move them to the pro support inbox or something like that. There's a million different automations you can build based on knowing a little bit more about your customer up front and as soon as they raise that ticket.
Cool, great, thanks, Jason. Moving on to the next one, tactic number 4, automate feedback and surveys. Igor, you want to take this?
Sure. So tip 4 is that I believe almost everybody already use some feedback app or get a feedback from their customers. So that's definitely great. You should also think about automating sending service to customers, since everybody wants to increase the satisfaction score, increase satisfaction with the product or services they sell. So in order to do it, you need to get like good quality feedback, and you need to get actionable feedback. In order to get there and to get good feedback, it's good, or you need to ask right questions at the right time. In order to do it, you need some data behind that, so you know like when the service should be triggered or what type of questions you want to ask. So in front, for example, there are many different fields. You can fill in different labels, different tags. You can use different mailboxes, you can use different ticket types, and we suggest based on those you should send different questions at different times. You should not send like the same question every time somebody opens the ticket, otherwise it could lower the response rate. Customers just don't respond to those kind of like same questions over and over again. So that's why you should ask, so for example, if there is a question or support issue regarding payments or regarding the setup, you should then ask the customer about that. And if, for example, if the feedback is negative, you should trigger another survey asking like, okay, we tried to solve the issue, but we didn't. Obviously, we didn't. And how could we help more? Or was like resources not enough, or we haven't provided you with I don't know, some setup guide or things like that. So you can, based on the previous answers, you should follow up and automate surveys. And then if you get some answers, you should definitely push them back to the tickets. So it's good if you have as many information in one place as possible. So if you're able to push it to front, if you're able to label the ticket, for example, so if you get bad score, you want to label a ticket with bad score, and you can also set up automation directly in front, for example, that if there is a bad score, you want to reopen the ticket or reassign the ticket to manager, or I don't know, do something with the ticket so you can improve the score, improve the satisfaction, and at the end help the customer. I know that Front does it themselves, and Jason can show you, I think, on some screenshot how they do it in Front.
Yeah, so yeah, right there you can see an example of, that's kind of what our signatures look like when we send outbound messages through Front. With every message we send, we give our customers an opportunity to rate their experience with our support team. And we do like to collect that feedback live, and when we receive positive responses, we post it to a team Slack channel just so everyone can celebrate that. And when we receive negative scores, we make sure the person who received the score and the team manager is made aware of that. And that's something that the teammate and the manager can discuss and like figure out a solution for. We also collect like NPS scores based on I think the surveys are sent out automatically every 6 months or so, and our team, it's like our CEO, product managers, all sorts of people, account managers, review like an NPS feedback inbox, and we try to get back to everyone who's giving us feedback on the product, what we can do to make it better, things that are bugging them about the product. So yeah, these automated ways to gather support are super helpful in asking customers to just tell us what they think.
Then you can also set automation, more and more automation. So for example, as you explained with bad score, the tickets get re-signed. You can also set up some automation that there will be, for example, auto reply sent or some different actions done. So you can build the automation more and more.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have a question here from Ben about if users, customers actually fill that out.
Yeah, so for the CSAT scores, I'm just pulling up our metrics right now. It looks like in the last, I think we have about 2,000 tickets a month at Front, and in the last 30 days we've had, where is it, 80 ratings. So it's a fairly low number, but it does give us a somewhat good idea of what people are experiencing. And I think often when people leave negative scores with a comment, that's super helpful in kind of helping educate our team about why this customer wasn't very happy with the service. And we always listen to them, try and respond to them, and try and do better because of that. Like, every time you leave a piece of feedback, someone is reading it. And yeah, I mean, with only receiving 80, 100 a month, it's definitely easy for our team to respond to everything.
Cool. So let's get to the fifth tactic, and then I see more questions coming in, which is awesome. We'll definitely come to that once we're over, which is just about pretty soon.
Yeah. So yeah, back to me and automating escalation and routing processes. Again, this is like something that I really love, and I spend a lot of time on this. Up front, we have a tiered support structure. So we have, our tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 inboxes, and separate inbox for chat support. So that's, where our support team lives every day. We do things like, if you email API@frontapp.com, those messages go straight to our tier 2 team, because, we presume that you're writing in specifically about the API. And, we want someone more technical to handle that sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, automation is something that, should be predictable, and, like giving the same sort of escalations in the same way, like having your team understand how everything works is definitely critically important. And, we have a ton of escalation paths, like if we detect that something is from one of our VIP customers, we put that into like special views and add certain tags and make sure certain people are notified about it. Yeah, there's something here mentioning our support on call automation. Like, I'm not right now, but this week I'm on call for support, and when we have outages. Oh, sorry. When we have people writing in that triggers our on-call process, so raising something urgent, we detect those messages. We send them to Zapier. Zapier does a lookup in PagerDuty to see who's on call right now, and then leaves a comment on that conversation in front saying, "Hey, this was flagged as urgent, and it might be something you want to look at, Jason." Puts it right in front of me and right in my inbox. We also have things like when people raise like data deletion requests, we do what we can to like pull the URL of the resource that they want to delete, and put that right in front of the team, so they don't need to do any kind of lookup, and it's just one click to remove that sort of data. And yeah, these things, like, again, kind of coming back to like making automation allow you to be more personal. These things like save our team a ton of time, and allow us to focus on things that really need like a lot of attention and a lot of time to respond to.
Awesome. I love seeing the interaction in the chat. Thanks for answering some of those questions, and thanks for that, Jason. So yeah, let's get back to the questions. And I know we've answered a few throughout this, but feel free to ask any questions you have right now. I'm going to kick things off with a question that I have while we're waiting for others to chime in. And this is for Igor and Jason, of course. So one thing that I found interesting from the first poll question, which is, what's your top support goal as we kick off 2021? CSAT, cut down response times, increased CSAT were the top two, pretty close. But increased NPS was pretty low on that mark. And, being, not in the support world, I'm curious why is like NPS not just as important as it once was? I'm curious either of you or Jason, if you have a thought or opinion on that.
Jason, you can go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I definitely think NPS scores are important. Like they help. They allow customers to let you know what they think about your product or company as a whole. I think speaking from a support perspective, we're a very small section of a much larger company. So the NPS score for us isn't as important as CSAT and the customer's experience with with the support team. I think really NPS is sort of more of a company-wide goal than something that's specific to any one team. At least that's how I see it.
Yeah, exactly. I would follow up on Jason. So definitely for support or customer experience team, CSAT and CS is I would say better metric. And PS is metric which is supposed to measure like overall satisfaction with the whole company, not just the agents or individuals or teams, support teams, but overall satisfaction with the whole company or loyalty to that company, to the brand. And CSAT and CS is more focused on support, so that's why it's more and more used within support teams to measure satisfaction with the support, performance of the agents, and if it was easy or hard for customers to open a ticket and get a resolution. That's NPS is not designed to measure that, but CSAT and CS is more designed to measure satisfaction with the support and individuals, and if it hard for somebody to get the resolution to the ticket.
Great. We have a really good question here from Spela, and apologies if I mispronounced that. What automation setup do you use to effectively keep track of which user feedback was implemented and thus alert the user? Great question. Either of you.
Yeah, I can go first on this. In using Front, we use Jira to collect all of our product feedback and our feature requests, and you can attach a Jira ticket to a given conversation in Front, and we have like kind of part of that integration is when that Jira ticket is closed, the conversations in Front reopen. So they'll just kind of drop straight back into our support inbox and either be assigned back to whoever was dealing with them previously or unassigned for the team. So we see that message that says the Jira ticket for feature whatever was closed, and we can just send a really quick message back to customers and say, hey, that feature you asked for is now available. Like maybe here's some documentation to help you learn how to use it. In terms of the metrics for that, I believe our data team does keep some sort of metrics on those things, like feature requests that are implemented, but I don't have too much visibility into that, so I'm not certain.
We as a company use it basically a similar way. So a person gets a feature request or an agent gets a request, and then we create a task in Jira. Whenever the task is done, we get notified, and then that agent who reported the issue or the feature then follow up with the customer and let customer know that the feature is implemented, or if it's not, or if it's not possible to do it, we let customer know that it's not possible, and we try to find different solution. But it's not automated. It's not like fully automated process. It's automated until we get a notification from Jira that it's done, and then we do it manually, follow up with that customer.
Great. I love this question from Kobe. Is there such a thing as too much automation in customer support?
That's a great question. I think there can be. I think everyone's kind of been, like on the phone trying to get in touch with some company, and it's like which option do you want? Oh, it sounds like option 2. And then they just read you out something and say, return to the last menu. And you just think, I just need to talk to someone. Like, this automation is driving me crazy because I'm not getting my problem solved. I think provided your customer always like clearly has an out and they can, opt into talking to someone when the automation isn't working for them, I think that's something that's important to keep in mind. But in terms of like putting information in front of a customer, I think maybe there's a limit to how much you should do before you just kind of offload the conversation to a support agent. But I generally think it's providing them with information via automation is great, but trapping them in automation is something that you should be wary of.
And I think if there is too much automation, you will be able to see it in future on your satisfaction score. There's going to be feedback that the issues are not solved. I think you should not consider automation as like something that you set up automation and everything will be automated. You should still consider it like extra layer, and you should set up automations for example, for tier 1 questions or for frequently asked questions, but also then have humans and have agents to solve complex issues. You should not like focus only on automation. You should consider it as like extra layer. And of course, you need to teach you to make it smart. Then automation can work your advantage.
Cool. I totally agree. I think I think there's a fine line, and you gotta I think look. It's like a case by case thing. You gotta look at your own sort of like setup and systems and see what works. And I like that point, Igor, about like just look at the feedback and see how that's changed. I think those are all the questions. I don't, unless I missed any. If I do, we'll review these and follow up separately. If anyone does have any questions, we have about a minute or so, so feel free to throw them in there. But if not, totally all good. I just want to thank everyone today for joining. I want to thank Igor and Jason specifically. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, planning and preparing. So appreciate you two joining us today. And thank everyone for listening in. We'll send out the recording right after. For attending, you're going to receive a ebook that our team at Front and Nicereply have put together. It has a lot of the stuff that we covered today and more. So you'll have this exclusive copy before we bring it out, later on in the public. I don't know when that's going to be, but for now, we're reserving this for the attendees. So on the recording, Jason, Igor, any last thoughts?
I'll just thank you, everybody, thank you guys for having me right here, and thank you everybody who joined. And if there are any follow-up questions, you can let us know.
Yeah, same from me. Like, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. And if you have any questions for Front, you can always get in touch with us at support@frontapp.com.
Great. Yeah, I'm seeing all these thank yous. I really appreciate that from everyone. And I hope everyone has a great week to end off. Thanks all.